All right, let's talk about time, but not just managing it. I'm talking about taking it back, right? Because in a world that's always buzzing and pulling you in a million directions, it's so easy to feel completely overwhelmed. We're going to flip that script. We're going to figure out how to go from feeling scattered to feeling totally in control. So let's dive in. Okay, does this sound familiar? You wake up, you've got your coffee, you've got this beautiful, ambitious to-do list, and then the day just happens, right? By the time evening rolls around, you look at that list and it's barely got a dent in it. You were busy all day, running around, putting out fires, but productive? Not so much. And let me just say, if that's you, you are so not alone. So here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the real issue with our 24 hours. Then we'll get strategic before we get tactical. After that, we'll architect your perfect day, build a fortress to protect your focus, and wrap it all up by making sure these habits actually stick. Sound good? All right, first things first, we have to completely reframe this whole conversation. For way too long, time management has just been code for how can I cram more stuff into my day? But that's a recipe for burnout. The real goal, the one that actually works, is something way, way smarter. And here it is, the big idea. It is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. It's a total mindset shift, right? We're moving away from the trap of being busy and moving towards being effective. It's all about finding those few key things, the real needle movers, and giving them your absolute, undivided attention. That's the secret sauce that gets you off the hamster wheel. Okay, so before we start talking about apps and techniques and all that fun stuff, we need to talk strategy. Think of it like this. You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint, right? Well, same thing for your time. Without a clear plan for what's actually important to you, all the productivity hacks in the world are just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. They won't get you where you really want to go. And our cornerstone for that strategy? It's a classic for a reason, the Eisenhower Matrix. It sounds fancy, but it's actually super simple. And oh my gosh, is it powerful. It forces you to ask one critical question. Is this thing just urgent? Or is it truly important? And trust me, getting clear on that difference, that changes everything. So here's how it breaks down. You've got 4 boxes. Top left, important and urgent. This is your do-it-now stuff, like studying for that big exam tomorrow. Top right, important but not urgent. This is the gold mine. Things like planning your weekly goals. You don't do it now, you schedule it. You protect time for it. Bottom left, urgent but not important. Think of a lot of emails or interruptions. The goal here is to delegate it or minimize it. And finally, the bottom right, not urgent and not important. This is the stuff you just eliminate. Yeah, I'm looking at you, endless Instagram scrolling. And that ties perfectly into another big strategic idea. You've probably heard of it, the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. It basically says that a huge chunk, like 80%, of your results are going to come from a surprisingly small amount of your effort, just 20%. So your job, your real mission here, is to figure out what your personal 20% is. What are those high-impact activities? Find them, and then protect them like your life depends on it. Okay, so we've got our blueprints, our high-level strategy. Now it's time to get our hands dirty. Let's talk about the practical, day-to-day tools that turn you into the architect of your own day. And here's probably the single most powerful habit you can build. Plan tomorrow, today. Seriously. It takes, 10, maybe 15 minutes before you wrap up for the evening. You just list out your top 3 to 5 priorities, guess how long they'll take, and this is key, you even schedule in your breaks. The magic here is that you wake up with 0 decision fatigue. You don't have to wonder, what should I do now? You just execute. Want to level that up? Try time blocking. This is a game changer. Instead of a floating to-do list, you literally drag those tasks into your calendar and give them a home. It turns a vague intention into a concrete appointment with yourself, and you're way less likely to skip an appointment, right? So, what do you do inside those time blocks to stay focused? Enter the Pomodoro technique. It is brilliant. You set a timer for 25 minutes and you just go. Hard focus on one thing. Then you take a 5-minute break. It's basically interval training for your brain. It stops you from burning out and keeps your focus sharp all day long. And you don't even have to watch the clock yourself. There are a ton of great apps out there, things like Focus To Do, Forest, or even just web-based ones like Pomo Focus. They handle the timing so you can just work. All right, so you've got this beautiful, well-crafted plan. But let's be real. The world is designed to distract you.
So now we switch from offense to defense. It's time to build a fortress around your focus and protect your time from all the things trying to steal it.
So, on one side of the battlefield, you've got the time thieves, those endless pings and notifications, a messy desk, you know the drill. And on our side, we have focus habits. Putting your phone on do not disturb while you're in a time block, that's not optional, it's essential. And here's another great one, the 2-minute rule. If something pops up that'll take less than 2 minutes, just do it right then and there. It stops those tiny tasks from piling up and clouding your brain.
You know, one of the biggest distractions isn't our phones, it's other people. Learning how to politely say no, or at least not right now, is an absolute superpower. And you don't have to be rude. A simple phrase like this works wonders. It shows you're focused, respects their request, and puts a boundary around your time. It's a win-win. Okay, we've got strategy, we've got daily plans, we've got defense. But the million-dollar question is, how do you make this stuff actually stick? Right? How do we turn this from a one-week experiment into a lifelong habit? That's the final piece of the puzzle, sustainability. This is where routines become your best friend. Seriously, the power of a solid morning and evening routine is just huge. It puts all the good stuff on autopilot. You stop wasting that precious morning brain power on deciding what to do. You just do. It creates this amazing, calm, and efficient rhythm to your entire day. And to keep your system sharp, you need a feedback loop. That's the weekly review. It's not a big, scary meeting. It's just 15 minutes with yourself at the end of the week, asking these simple questions. What worked? What didn't? What am I going to try differently next week? This is how you learn and adapt and get better and better over time. And yeah, of course, technology can help. There are amazing tools for literally everything. But here's the golden rule. Don't get tool-itis. Don't spend more time organizing your system than actually doing the work. Pick one or two that work for you, whether it's a simple list in Google Tasks or a big project board in Notion, and just stick with it. Consistency beats complexity every time. And please, please don't forget this. This is so important. Time management is also energy management. You can have the most perfect color-coded automated system in the world, but if you're running on 3 hours of sleep and coffee fumes, it's all gonna fall apart. Sleep, good food, actual breaks where you step away from the screen. That's not a luxury. That is literally the fuel that makes the whole engine run. So look, when you boil it all down, this isn't really about getting more things done. It's about making sure you have the time and energy for the things and the people that truly matter. So please, don't feel like you have to do all of this tomorrow. Just pick one thing. Maybe it's planning your next day tonight. Start small, stay consistent, and just watch what happens. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. If I could magically give you 1 extra hour today, a totally uninterrupted, deeply focused hour, what would you spend it on? Seriously, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Because that's what really matters to you. And the cool part is, you now have a roadmap to go and create that hour for yourself.